BagFuel, baby.
Whew, BagFuel.
BagFuel Atlanta.
Oh my God, I'm excited about this episode. They call me Heineken.
Everyone sees sounds official SO, you already know.
This is gonna be a treat for y'all. This is gonna be some high-end, high-octane hip-hop, historic vibes, business vibes, really how to matter in this industry. We got my guy Wayno, 119, if you know.
What's up, my guy?
Yeah.
I want to apologize to you, man.
For what?
We did an interview up at This Is 50.
Mm-hmm.
And we did a lot of numbers on that interview.
Mm-hmm.
And I had asked you about academics, and I clickbaited you on the title.
That's the one you talking about.
Yeah.
I remember that. Yeah.
And you never supported the interview. And now, really understanding, you were right. But I wanted to apologize because even though it did like 400,000 or 500,000 views, I clickbait the shit out of you.
What did you write? What did you say?
Something about why people dislike academics.
Oh,
some bullshit.
I didn't like that. I
knew.
Cause you know what it is. You my like we known each other way before that.
And that's why I had to apologize.
Oh, I didn't even think, bro. I totally forgot about that.
No, but you know, sometimes niggas just be like.
I was learning all of that shit too. I didn't even know what clickbait was until like I started. It's so much shit I didn't know about media and all that back then.
Oh, you learned it fast, man.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I had to. But
part of the music business, you have to learn on the fly. You have to adjust fast.
That's a fact.
They don't care about anything about who died in your family.
Oh nah.
About your heartbreak with your girl or your family or your kids. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
They only care about results.
That's what business is essentially though. Ain't no morality in business. Like business is like nature. It's like fucking. You ever see like a fox or rip off a rabbit's head? You be like, damn, why is doing that to that nice looking rabbit? They don't know that it's a rabbit. It just got to eat. So ain't no morality in that shit. That shit is brutal. That shit like the jungle, like anything else. So I just go home at night. That's why I don't deal with the bullshit.
How's your mental space been? Because you suffered 2 tragedies, bro. We lost Hovain, and y'all were close. People, and then you work with QC, so it take off, and that happened like in close proximity. And I'm like, bro, I know this guy. He has to keep it strong for his family. He got to keep it strong for hip hop.
Well, mentally, I've been pretty good. I actually ran into Hovain's wife last night, Kim. Shout out to Kim. But the Hovain shit, it came so abruptly. I talk to him every single day. Like I'm talking about, like we in a group chat together. We talk in a group chat. We talk outside the group chat. We call each other from time to time. You know what I mean? We didn't see each other as much as we wanted to, but I felt like I lost a piece of myself. He was a really good friend, and like he always encouraged me, always bigged me up. No matter what I was doing, he always told me I could do it. So, I still feel his presence though. Like when I ain't fly today, but when I get fly,
it's up.
I think of my dog. You know what I mean? Long live Hovain. That's a fact. And with Takeoff, it was a little different because I didn't get a chance to really like know him. Like I knew Takeoff. Like I was really a fan of his. I was supposed to, I had asked for the opportunity to work on stuff with him. I didn't get the chance to, but one thing that I really appreciated about him is before I even came to QC, he had DM'd me one day randomly. I didn't even know he knew who I was. He DM'd me and he sent me a video of me talking, and he put like goat emojis. And I just, when I heard his family talk at the funeral, they all said like he was a man of very little words, but like he could say so much with so little. And the last time I seen him, I was at Rolling Loud, Miami, and we seen each other. He gave me a face. He smiled at me and gave me a pound, and I knew everything it meant. So I like Takeoff. I was just really supporting my team because I didn't get the opportunity to know that brother. So I can't speak from personally, but he was a really good guy from my experiences with him, and from what everybody at the company dealt with him. They more family. Like I'm coming into this shit like that's their family for real.
Yeah.
Tell me, what's your process of being from New York, Harlem to be exact?
Yeah, Bronx too. I gotta say Bronx because a lot of people think that I'm not don't know I'm from the Bronx too. Okay. I'm from the Bronx too.
Okay, Bronx and Harlem. So you represent. I call that uptown Bronx and Harlem still, right?
Fact.
What was the process or how did you get down with quality control? Because they don't, they're usually a homebred company with Atlanta people to work for them.
Well, it started out with I met Coach K about 7 years ago when I was managing Dave East. We did the Dave and Yachty and Uzi, all of them was on the Double XL freshman together. That's one of the biggest freshman covers. And that's when I had met Coach and I met Yachty. And I mean, every time I seen Yachty, this really didn't have nothing to do with me getting there, but like I always like would see Yachty and shit, and he always showed me a lot of love. And every time I spoke about him, when everybody was talking down on him, I spoke highly of him because I had a chance to actually meet him. And then I started doing media. You know what I mean? And when I started doing media, P, you know what I mean, CEO quality control along with Coach, we started talking through social media. We started talking through the gram, you know what I mean? And we just would talk through the gram and shit. And when Baby was dropping my turn, he had hit me. He was like, yo, send me a number. I sent him my number. He called me like, yo, I want to get Baby on that show when I was on Everyday Struggle. And I hit the talent department. I was like, I don't care who we got this week. This man said he want Baby on the show.
There you go.
Getting Baby on the show. So Baby came on the show. And then after that, P had, he had told me when he came to the show, he's like, yo, come see me later. He was in the city. So I went and I seen him and shit. And we just started talking. He asked me what I had going on. He told me, that he thought I was really smart and all of that. And he said if there was an opportunity in the future for us to, do some business, and it made sense, we'd do business. But when he said that to me, I immediately was like, that's what I'm gonna do. You know what I mean? So I just we just built a relationship over time. Like we built a relationship and I made myself available, bro. Like I was flying down here on my own dime all the time. Like I would just call him like, yo, P, you in Atlanta? Yeah, all right, I'm coming down there. I put myself around them. You know what I mean? And the more I was visible to them, they seen I was serious about this shit. And then I told him one day, like, yo, bro, I would move to Atlanta. Like, if we make this shit happen, I'll move down here. He was like, yo, move? I was like, yeah, I'll pick up my whole family. We'll go. He was like, all right. And then, it happened.
I call that reinvesting in yourself. You gotta spend money. People don't believe in spending money taking trips. I come to Atlanta just to mix and merge. When Greg Street hit me, when I met Drama, I said, yo, I'm gonna just fly down here. Not trying to do nothing with y'all, just trying to build a relationship with y'all, get to know y'all a lot better. Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man, I that's what I had to do. I mean, I've been in this shit, bro. I've been in this shit longer than I could think. And from the time that my conception into music was me being in the mailroom. So I've been grinding since my start. Like even to this day, like I'm an executive and a lot of people might hold me in like this high ass position, but it ain't no job that's too big nor small for me. I'm gonna take the charge. I don't mean nothing illegal. I mean metaphorically.
Basketball term.
Yeah, bro. Like
I'm gonna sacrifice my body for the team.
I'm gonna do the dirty work. Like, you know what I mean? It be times where like I be joking with my some of my artists and I'd be like, man, I'm about to get something to eat. And they be like, oh, shit, I'm hungry. And I'd be like, all right, I'll go get you something. I'd be like, yeah, I got me on some intern shit, but it's cool. You know what I'm saying? I'm just hungry. Like I'm always hungry to get better. So this was like the perfect opportunity for me. And it reminded me a lot of Rockefeller. You know what I mean? I came up under Rockefeller, so it reminded me a lot. So the stars aligned for me. I got lucky a lot of times in life. I ain't gonna hold you.
It just sounds like being around this, you enjoy the game. Not the game, but like enjoy everything. Like how when paid in full, it's like, yo, I just enjoy the game, B.
Yeah.
I can't get out of it.
Bro, I did this shit for mad years with no bread. Like, I did this shit for mad years. I'm talking about like, I had like people know me by my artists that was successful, but I had artists that weren't successful that nothing really happened for. And I wouldn't say that they weren't successful. I say they weren't successful by other people's standards. I feel like taking a chance and putting your art out, like something that you thought of, something that you felt, and putting it out there, that's a form of success. So I will say they were successful, but shit, there's a lot of artists I ain't make no bread off of. Like, you know what I mean? People would act like I made all this money. It's mad people I didn't make no bread with. It's people I spent money on. I didn't get shit back. So I was willing to, like you said, reinvest in self. I'm like, shit, man. Like, I want to go somewhere where everybody I'm around is a multimillionaire. I want to be a multimillionaire. I'm not going to become a multimillionaire just being a leader of my own shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I think part of the thing I always enjoyed is how you always, transmitted your personality and your business acumen via Twitter. That's why when you had the Reebok Connect, I made it known that I don't want this for free or a discount. Yeah. I'm going to pay for it. Just don't give it away. Because he used to have the plugs at Reebok S. And
well, the thing about the Reebok thing
you
I
was
wasn't
a plug.
Supposed to be charging nobody for shit.
But you know me.
No, I was on my grind. My fault. I was on my grind at the time, and like I wasn't getting a lot of money from that Reebok shit. But the thing about being from Harlem is, man, we make $100 look like 100,000. So
of course,
you know what I mean. I made it look really good, and at the time, Heineken, he wanted, like, it was these sneaks he wanted, and I was like, shit, I'll get you a few pairs of them joints. And I was like, you got them? He's like, nah, I'm gonna give you some bread for them shits. And I was like, for real? that actually helped me out. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate you for that.
Because they were too tough to get. And I was just like, I'm going to spend the money anyway. And the way he spoke, I said, this is a get money, dude.
You better than me. I'm taking them shits for free.
Nah, them shits was, because you know why? I already knew the level of exclusivity of the sneaker.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
but you know what? Too, that's, like this shit, and I don't even knock that either because it's the barter system. Like you know what I mean? Like at the time when I was doing, like, all right, look, because I went a loss either way because I got paid for the sneaks, but at the time, you know, I was building a relationship with you, so. If I still built a relationship with you that benefited me in the end, like when it was time for me and I had artists, you need to pull up, I got you, like so it was a win-win for me. But I understand that, like for me, bro, like man, I was telling somebody today, bro, like once I got attracted to how to make $1 or like bro, like just seeing, you know, we all from the hood, man, like you see certain shit go on and transpire, you see somebody with the Jordans, how he got those, like. You know what I mean? Like how he got that, and then you start getting as a youngin', like you know, you might not be looking for inspiration in the right things, but that inspiration gonna come to you whether you want to or not. So I was just like, I always use that. I never forget who I was. You know what
I mean, I came into this game talking about the barter system. I always feel like that the music business teaches you a lot of things. It teaches you the whole gamut of a business, how to get something on, how to get it hot. How to market it, how to deal with budget, how to move money, who to pay, when to pay them, timing. It teaches you the whole thing on how to make something blow up. So when you take that shit and you move into another realm, it's easier for you to pot shot and see what's going on because you was like, I dealt with that with Hov.
Yeah.
I dealt with that with Dame. I dealt with that with G. I dealt with that with Bleak. And I know in all these different type of shit, people think it's music, but it's more business than music.
Absolutely. But that's because you were saying that, and all I could think of, and niggas do the absolute opposite. That's
the same thing he be saying.
Nah, but for real, I think like, you know, bro, like I dropped out of high school, so I didn't go to college and none of that. And I don't say that like as a bragging point of where I am today. I'm just saying I was so behind on like so many things that I had to start educating myself. Like a person who made me educate myself, I gotta give it to a Beanie Siegel, bro.
Interesting.
Like I lived with him. Like he'd tell you, ask him about me. He used to say I was his house celly because when he was on house arrest, I lived with him. He ain't going nowhere. I ain't going nowhere. We did everything together. And
this was in Philly.
Yeah. Well, he lived outside of Philly, but
got you.
Living in his house, he used to tell me like, yo, bro, you can't be in here and not read. So he used to make me read books, like you know what I mean. Like he make me read the Quran. He make me read Art of War. He make me read 48 Laws of Power. He just make me read a lot of books, and then from reading certain books, I would just go out and educate myself. Like he made me. I read more books living with Beans than I did being in school, and that might sound crazy, but
that's big. That's deep to me.
That's deep, right there.
He made me educate myself. You know what I mean, because he understood that I was smart, but I think he understood that I would be like so much farther along if I had like a little bit more book smart.
The knowledge.
Yeah, that's a
and
fact.
Knowledge is a key, man. I think people. They think that they're just gonna go out there and they're just gonna put something out there and then they're gonna learn along the way. But researching, what people do now, that they don't research, they just go to Google when they're trying to figure something out.
Google gives suggestions, not answers.
Yeah,
that's a clip right there.
Exactly. You have to go and you have to research what you're doing.
That's a fact.
Before you do it, and people underestimate doing that. Because if you want to become a manager, find something, find a book, find a magazine, find something that they're telling you about the business of management and how to move. I looked at Mark Pitts on becoming a manager.
Okay.
I grasped him. I saw him from long range. I was young. I knew him. Then I saw what he did within the business and who he became and how he managed.
Right.
Before he became the executive.
Yeah.
I called him the super manager because he could do a lot of shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a fact.
And that's who I patterned myself after when I wanted to become a manager. And I studied Mark. I read things about shit that he did, magazines and shit. And I implemented.
Yeah.
I put my own shit to it, you know what I'm saying? But I use that as the foundation.
That's a fact. Yo, I did that too. Like I used to read, like, of course, I read every magazine, Double XL, Source, you know what I mean, Vibe, all that shit. And like I used to study like Irv Gotti a lot. You know what I mean? I used to study Irv. I used to study like Kevin Liles. Cause like when I seen Backstage, that was the first time I seen like anything where I looked at Tata and I was like, maybe I could be Tata. I looked at Lenny S and I was like, maybe I could be Lenny S. And like stars aligning for me. I was around these niggas 2 years later.
That fast.
For me, but I watched them like G Robeson. Like I worked at Rockefeller when G Robeson and hip hop was managing Kanye and Just Blaze. You know what I mean? Like when Lenny S was there and Lenny was an A&R, but he was going on tour. You know what I mean? DJ and J. You know what I mean? Doing J Playback Machine and DJ and J and shit. And like I was the youngest guy around them, but they was in their 20s and shit. And I'm a teenager and I'm just watching them guru. Like, you know, it's so many people I could pay it forward to. But like you said, like I would just use the examples and say, like, let me emulate. And I emulated a lot of wrong people too. I think that the only way you can become a great leader is by being a follower of good and bad people. You know what I mean? Like they say that all that shit. Oh no, you got to be a born leader. Everybody's not a born leader. Like you have to learn skills. You have to learn order. You have to learn like how to receive commands and then you got to learn how to.
You have to be a good follower before you become a good leader.
And to delegate. You know what I mean? Like delegation is the biggest part of being a leader. And everybody thinks that like because you was the most popular kid in class when you was a kid, you just a leader. You could have been the most popular kid in class because you had the Jordans before everybody. That don't make you a leader. So
or
like,
you told jokes.
Or you told jokes.
Or you
know
was
what I
a
mean?
football player.
Exactly.
What does it take to be a valuable man, especially in the hip hop culture?
I think to be a valuable man, I think you got to be. It's bigger than hip hop culture. Like you know, I think first off, that word hip hop culture has to be redefined so many different times.
Talk about it.
Well, I want to get to that.
All right,
we're gonna get my thought.
Okay,
but I think that when it comes to like being a valuable man, it's the value you have for yourself. See, a lot of dudes don't have value in themselves. They don't see value. Like that's why we mistreat so many things. That's why we don't appreciate shit from a woman to, you know what I'm saying, the money that you come into. Like you know how many people I've seen blow, I'm talking about artists, dudes in the street, hundreds of thousands to millions of dollars just because they don't appreciate how, like if you're making, I hate to say this like this, but there's a right way to do wrong. And if you a dude in the street doing shit the wrong way and you are able to escape that, you got to figure out a way to do shit right eventually. You can't operate with every single mindset you had that you came in when you got in the street when you was 13 and now you're 35. You know what I'm saying? And you mistreat shit, spending all types of bread. You know how many, I bet you both of us, all three of us, know more dudes that blew through money than they have money right now.
Yo, bro.
Two
things.
You woke him up.
Okay, two things.
Okay.
We always argue about this little thing. We talk about a little $5,000, and I'm going to say a little $5,000. We always have this back and forth. And they tell me everybody does not have $5,000. And I say, yes, they do. I said, they spend it on what they want to spend it on.
Oh, that's a fact.
That's all.
No, it's just a philosophy. He's not wrong, but he's never had a regular job. So, you know, when a person's working Monday through Friday, what do they do Saturday and Sunday?
Spend their bread.
Because the rigor of doing 40 hours.
Well,
let's go for it.
All right, so look. So I feel like there's no difference in the amount of money. I feel like there was a point in time in my life where $200 had to carry me for 2 weeks. That sounds fucking insane.
Insane right now.
It was insane back then, but I didn't know it was insane because that was my limit.
Yeah.
So now, if I can't manage $200 in 2 weeks to get to my next check, which of course I don't think that nobody should have to live like that. But if I can't manage that, how the fuck am I supposed to manage $2,000 in 2 weeks? How am I supposed to manage $20,000 in 2 weeks? How am I supposed to manage $200,000 or $2 million? There's no difference in the amount of money. Because if you was a kid, real quick, honey, if you was a kid in school, and all of us have been this kid one time or not, we all old enough where $20 was fucking $20, bro.
Yes,
bro, it's on you.
You could buy the girl in your class some candy that you like. You could give your man $2. Y'all going to the arcade after to play Street Fighter. Y'all going to grab pizza, all that shit. If you was that type of nigga when you was 10 years old, and you never, and you're a child, so you don't really know. But if you operate with that same mindset of a child, What's going to happen? Nigga, you know how many I know more irresponsible grown-ass men than...
Here's the thing. Because with Esso, yourself, and myself, when he says saving the 5,000, because I cut off his point, so I want him to bring it back. Okay. The part that people don't know is when you're saving that money, you got to eat shit. You can't go to the club. You can't do nothing. You can't dress fly because you got an agenda. And that's where I'm coming from. That's why people blow it.
But that's not true. You just can't do everything.
You can't do... What?
That's all. People have a problem. People have a problem with regulating. When it's grind time, it's grind time.
Yeah.
Right? If like there was a time that you knew me that we talk about, I was making money, my wife was making plenty of money. We was going on vacations every month. Right? When it came down to we said we want to get this house and we want to do this type of thing, we can't go on vacations every month.
Oh, yeah.
We can't buy the Louis Vuitton luggage
but that's discipline.
Yeah, exactly. And this is why I say they have the $5,000. I never said they had discipline. I never said. I never said that.
No, but look, you know it's crazy you said that because I started noticing this shit. You know how many people be like, man, these kids, they shooting up shit, they doing this and that third because they don't have nothing to do. That's a lie. There's tons of shit to do in the hood. It's just that people don't want to pay for it.
Yes.
Like it's tons of shit, bro. Like I got 3 kids. My kids then, if you from Harlem, everybody know Millbank. Everybody knows Millbank.
Yeah.
You know Mill, you play ball.
Of course.
Everybody know Riverbank.
Riverbank.
You could go to Millbank. You could go to Riverbank. Even Gauchos. You right over the bridge. You could
go
there.
To Menacing.
You could go to Menacing.
You can go somewhere.
My kids went to all of them shits. Now, all right. Now look, your kid want this after school program that might run you about a good $100 a week. Now I'm gonna keep it a band because I done seen it abused so many times. Now you feel like you ain't got that $100 a week. You got $100 a week to get high.
To smoke,
you got $100 a week. Now, and also everybody got their vices and whatever the case may be, but also, like you said, on them Saturdays and Sundays, niggas want to get fly. The fucked up thing about our people and our culture, that's the shit I want to.
Yeah, I didn't forget the hip hop.
Our culture is that that's the only time we feel seen. You invisible in the hood if you ain't got shit. You invisible, bro. I went to some kids. And I asked these kids, I spoke at the Malcolm Shabazz school in Newark. And I was talking to these kids, and I asked them, like, yo, will my words mean more to y'all if I would have pulled up in a Ferrari today? Raise y'all hands who would and who wouldn't. Majority of kids did. I said, guess what? I got a friend that has a Ferrari. I could just borrow his. So that means that I could tell you a fucking lie. You'll believe a lie.
Yeah.
I could come in, I could pull up in a Ferrari. I was living in the projects when I said this to these kids. I could have pulled up in a Ferrari, went back to the project. You would have never known.
I always talk about how people in Brooklyn especially believe the story that Jay-Z bought the duffel bag to Def Jam with Kevin. You've heard that.
I heard somewhat of it, but...
Yeah, you see? And he's like, why do they believe this? And
because niggas will believe anything, bro.
And he was at Rockefeller. This is what I'll be trying to tell.
I wasn't there at that time.
No, but I'm just saying, but
you know how
but you
plays.
were there to know what's real and what's not. And I always try to explain to people that marketing is a powerful tool.
Absolutely.
And all these different things. People are understanding marketing more because now they have the gram in front of them.
Yeah.
But when we was first in this business, they didn't understand how to get write-ups, how to do this. They didn't understand the importance of putting money behind yourself because they want to do rap vans that they can drive around. You don't need a rap van, homeboy.
Yeah, that's done.
You wasted your whole money doing that. You know who gets a rap van? Jay-Z, when Jay-Z's the most lit nigga in the entire world. You know why? That's just promotion to keep his face out there.
But another thing is everybody want everything for free. Like that, yo, you know what's the biggest problem I've had with so many people, bro? And artists, you know, like I'm very for artists. I want artists to make money and all that. But for you to think, I don't give a fuck what artist, a Jay-Z, a Meek Mill, and I'm not saying this to point directly, I'm just bringing the examples off the head, 21 Savage, ain't nobody successful without a team.
No.
But the problem with artists is they don't see the value in, like, when you start making bread, I'm talking about next level shit. I'm not talking about the 5K. When the 5K a night then turned to 15 and the 15 then turned to 45 and 50, and you making serious paper, bro, you gotta pay your people, bro. If you read, man, I remember I read that in the Art of War. This nigga, I think it was Genghis Khan. This motherfucker would take of other generals' soldiers because he would go to them and be like, "Yo, did they feed you?" Like, nah, they ain't feed me. They ain't taking care of me. He would take the other generals' soldiers, and everybody knew that he had like a fucking a very violent appetite. You know what I mean? He killed for like that was his shit. But he would take other soldiers from people because he just for the simple fact of them not getting fed.
And he would let them keep their religion still. He wouldn't conform them completely.
Bro, if you y'all got dogs?
Nah, I'm allergic.
All right, but look, but if a dog see you eating, that nigga gonna look at you like, damn, I can't see what that's about. So you think a person watching you spend $50,000 in a jewelry store, $50,000 in Saks, $50,000 on some chicks for the night, throw $30,000, and a nigga say, yo, bro, I've been rocking with you all week. I've been working out. Can I get $1,000? What you did?
And niggas be like, whoa.
And they make that screw face.
Bro, I thought you was down for the cause.
I thought you was with me. You like, yo, bro, I just saw you spend $30K on bitches in 15 seconds.
Don't count your pockets. You telling me, nigga, look how we living now.
The only rapper that I see actively taking care of people and do that is Lil Baby.
Yeah.
I feel like he takes pride in it. Like he actively. I'm just talking about. I'm not saying nobody else doesn't do it.
But
I'm just talking about when I see it, this nigga just bought his fucking sneaker connect nigga a fucking chain, nigga.
No, one thing I say about like the biggest misconception, because I will be the person to say that shit is slower down here. It is slower, but that doesn't mean stupidity. I'm not saying about that. But when it comes to dudes from the South, they about money, bro. They not bro. Niggas down here. If you could be the top, Barbara Walter, anybody could come say they gonna interview somebody. They be like, how much they got? If you ain't got no bread, bro, niggas is not moving. Yeah. And the thing about the money though is they take that money and they, for the ones that I've seen do it, you know what I mean? Me being around QC, I've seen them filter the bread through. I've seen like that was a big thing for me too. I wanted to move down here because first off, I wanted my kids to see black people do it on every level. Like, back home, it's very seldom you meet anybody that owns something where we from. And if they do, it's very rare that
they own this shit out here.
Yeah, they own this shit. Like I ain't gonna say it's oversaturated, but
it's Wakanda.
You got them people that don't want it. Nah, it ain't Wakanda, but you got the people that want to do, like you said, don't want to do the research. It's like, I'm gonna just move to Atlanta and start a fucking salon. I'm gonna just move to Atlanta and start But what I'm saying is that, bro, like for the ones that do, you'll see, like, you get rewarded off your work. Now, I also believe that you shouldn't get paid just for being a homie. You should not get paid just for being a homie. You should get paid if you the homie that wants to learn something and add value to the situation.
There you go.
It goes back to value. But a lot of the niggas don't see value in themselves, so they can't even see value in their man when they look in the mirror and they don't feel whole.
I always say that people do not know their value.
They don't, bro.
They have no idea. One thing I wanted to go back to that we skipped over was backstage. Backstage does not get the credit that it should get for enlightening people and young niggas about the game. Although I was throwing parties and all that, and Clue was my man, I wasn't in the game when Backstage was out. I still was in college. So although I had a hand in making money in the game, I was looking at that same video like, I could do that. Yo, you see the way Dame screamed on them niggas about marketing? Dame made me understand marketing. Yeah. You're going to let me go out and do all this work, and then you're going to come and bring your jackets up here and make it seem like this is the work that y'all did to make people want to what? Join your record label.
That's a fact.
But you didn't do that.
You didn't do the work.
And now when I watched it on TV, I said, shit.
I also get why Kevin Liles did what he did too.
Okay, why did he do that?
Because
I funded y'all?
I mean, you got to look at it as he's a partner. You know what I'm saying? You got to look at it as he's a partner. Of course, he's going to want his logo on something as well.
This nigga wild political right now.
I'm keeping it. No, because I see it from both sides because I've been on both sides.
Yeah.
Bro, I've had success outside the building being an independent manager, and I've had success in the building being an A&R.
But let me ask you a question before you go there. If it's true that they didn't support them with the tour and they put their own tour together.
Oh, no, see, I don't. So again.
Okay, go ahead.
When we talk about Rockefeller, I can't even. When what's that shit came out? Backstage came out, I was 17 years old.
Okay.
I didn't know none of these niggas. I was just a fan. As a matter of fact, my cousin is on Backstage because he was Jay's bodyguard. That also didn't help me. That didn't have nothing to do with me getting into that shit.
Gotcha.
But like, I'm able to see like both sides of the spectrum sometimes, because now when we look at it in hindsight, you can always see clearer when you look back. Like Dame, and I was around Dame. Like, people think Dame is crazy now. That nigga was a tyrant when I worked with him, bro. Like, I'm talking about, he was no joke, but that's just because he was so strong in the belief of his brand and his company. Now, how he handled people, if you look at the tortoise and the hare, Kevin Lyles, Dame Dash. Not saying that Dame Dash ain't successful, but once everybody didn't have to deal with him no more, they was like, fuck him. Fuck him. So I do understand from an executive standpoint why he made that decision. I ain't saying I would have made that decision.
Yeah, no.
But I understand, like, bro, now it's today we finding out who Lucien Grange is and all these other people that's the higher ups. You got people you got to answer to. You got them, like,
we didn't know about Lucien back then.
Yeah, we didn't know about Craig Cowman or none of these people. Even Leo Cohen, we didn't know about none of these people to the extent that we do today.
People still don't know.
They don't, because, again, like as I said, they don't do their research.
They don't do their research.
But
or they think it's some mythical story you're making up.
But the thing about business is, bro, business is business. It's like, as much as Jordan brand sells, Nike is not never going to let Jordan be Jordan brand. I could be wrong, but I heard that Michael Jordan only owns 5% of Jordan brand, and he's a billionaire. The fuck that tell you? Nike's like, oh yeah, you gonna live in this house forever.
Yo,
Same
Nike,
as LeBron.
Yo, nigga, Nike got 500. No, Adidas. I'm sorry. Got $530 million worth of Yeezys that they can't sell.
Yeah, and that shit is not gonna cut the water off.
$530 million that they can just say, yo, we lost $530
Oh yeah,
million.
they no, bro. But see, that's the thing about, where we come from, bro. When it come to business, we rap because we passionate, and a lot of us, we come from a like the passion and the art. We so passionate and artful, we can't even see business. We can't even see it. Like, I had this conversation with somebody I worked with who was an executive, and it was a person who was white. And they told me, like, yo, the thing about black people is y'all could go sit in the studio for 24 hours a week, make the records, make the album, do everything. But when motherfuckers get on them calls and start talking about P&Ls and them bottom lines and them all of that, motherfuckers be like, huh?
Nah.
Not everybody. Look,
they be like, nah, son.
They don't even want to be around for them.
This ain't what I'm in it for, son. So I'm a creative, son.
Now, look, the thing, it's nothing wrong with being a creative, but the thing is, like, bro, if they gonna keep pulling the wool over your eyes, they gonna keep pulling the wool over your eyes. I remember when I was a kid, it was one point in time, I thought that 3/4 was $1, right? So this dude used to take a quarter from me every time I would ask for. I'd be like, I'll give him $1, go play video games. I'd be like, yo, let me get 3/4. He would give me 3/4. You think this motherfucker was gonna tell me
it's 4 quarters?
It's 4 quarters. He kept keeping that quarter. That's how many video games I played. So it was enough for him to put some in his pocket. Now, that's oppression. That's what I call the real oppression. And that's one thing we hold. If we don't hold ourselves to nothing, we oppress each other like a motherfucker.
Yes, we do.
We oppress each other like a motherfucker, because if I learn business, and I heard this before, and I say it a lot, it's nobody's business to teach you business, but we don't even be feeling the obligation. Let me tell my brother how to do this. Let me tell my sister how to do this.
I'm gonna tell you why though, because they don't listen. Because of the very thing. See, it goes right back. The very thing that you said about the creativeness, it doesn't end when it's us talking to them. When it's the white man talking to them, they don't get it. But when it's the black man talking to them about it, they don't get it neither. And then on top, go on. I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say a lot of times they do act like the white man's ice is colder. That's a fact.
But they still don't get it when the white man's ice is colder, but the black man's ice is still cold. Because when we're trying to enlighten them on what business is, you're trying to beat me. Is the first thing that they try to say. Like, you're trying to beat me, bro. Yo, bro, it don't go like that, bro. This is what I designed for myself. I don't want to pay for this. I don't want to do that. Yo, but you know who's doing that? That rapper company who you love and fucking worship.
Oh, yeah, that's a fact.
That's what they're doing.
No, that's a fact.
The very thing that you're saying you don't want to do.
Yeah.
So if they're not going to listen, period, how are they going to get to the point where they're going to learn?
It's hard to break because, I mean, bro, you learn how to duck by getting hit. So you know the thing about it is like I hate that shit, bro.
They not ducking though.
But they not. But that's because
they just keep getting knocked off. Boom, like the zombies. Boom,
but you know what? That's because a lot of in music business, a lot of artists is only concerned with what they get in that day. I remember Don King. It was a quote that Don King said that he said $5,000 today is worth more than $10,000 next week to a nigga. You know what I mean? And that's because for the most part,
we're here and now.
We can't even see the next week. We can't even see the next day. But that it all ties back to value. I had a meeting with Ron Suno.
I'm familiar.
Shouts out to Ron Suno, him and his management team, you know what I mean, and all them. And we wasn't talking about like necessarily doing business with each other, but I told him and his team, I said, before y'all leave, I need all of y'all to realize something. Y'all all have value. I'm not talking about no music shit. I'm not talking about no business shit. I need you to feel like I gotta make it home tonight. I need you to feel like if an altercation transpires and somebody get out of line, you could be like, yo, like
I got bigger fish to fry.
I got more shit going on than the person I might be dealing with.
That's hard for them though, because they frontal lobe not developed.
That is, but the thing about it is, right, is like, bro, I'm only here right now today because of my imagination. The only reason why I'm alive right now, because of my imagination, because I would imagine, bro, when I lived in the hood, bro, it was a long time. My only goal in life was to move out the hood. My only goal in life. Seeing people lose their life, seeing all types of crazy shit. People be like, you know how crazy the hood is when you get out the hood? You be like, everything that's normal where I live, they don't even do none of that shit. It feels crazy.
It's quiet.
It's quite like it starts to disturb you because you so used to that shit. I wanted to be out the hood so bad that was my only goal. But the only reason why I was able to get out the hood is because I was like, I'm not going to get it by doing it fast. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to do it by getting it fast, and I'm not going to do it by doing it without education. You know what I mean? And like I said, I dropped out in the 9th grade. I tell people I dropped out of high school, they don't be believing me because I educated myself, but motherfuckers won't take the time. You know what I mean? Like, people don't take the time. If you take the time and really put work in and really put your thoughts and your dreams and all that shit that you think don't exist behind what it is, that energy behind something you want, you're going to get it.
I want to get y'all expertise on something. I saw a rich homie Quan say a quote, a lawyer is way more valuable than a manager. And y'all both dealt with both sides. Y'all know what the value is on both.
That's a tough quote to make, because coming from an artist like a rapper, I could understand why he would say that, because rappers want to roam freely. They don't like to be told. And the lawyer's not telling you nothing. Yeah. He's only making suggestions about, I think you should do this, and the deal's coming in. Your manager is in the trenches with you. Yeah. He's making money directly off you. Not that your lawyer's not getting that 5%, but your manager goes as you go.
I think that they equally important for the right ones. Because, you know, I'm a manager, and I'm not going to say that all managers are good. You know what I mean? Like, there's people who steal. There's people who do all types of backdoor shit. There's people who don't tell, not only the artist is not educated, the manager's not educated, and artists don't know that, you know, you done did a pub deal or something. You think you out of it, not knowing that your percentage is all you have of a song. So you got to do 20 songs that have 10, like that. You know what I mean? Basic shit. But then you have lawyers that are good. The thing is, bro, I don't give a fuck if you're a lawyer, a manager, an A&R, a CEO. You got good people and bad people. Shit is that simple.
You gotta pick your team.
You gotta pick your team right, and unfortunately, you gotta get hit a few times in order to learn how to duck.
Yeah.
You know, I think that a manager just as important as a lawyer. But a lawyer, like I done had managers, man. I mean, I had lawyers that we done had to fire.
Yeah, we got lawyers that are lazy, that don't be on their job, that they don't return calls for some reason, that they out partying too.
Or they don't explain shit to you in context, and you know what I mean. Like but that's what I'm saying. It's a people thing,
and we know that because when we spoke to Roddy Ricch said, I said your lawyer's not telling you this. He's like, hell no, lawyers ain't telling you what to do. They just be like, sign this deal. This is the money that you gonna get.
But I mean, the point also though, and it depends on your trust factor. Your manager is supposed to make you understand as much possible as you can before that signature go on that paper. You feel me? So your manager should be getting the information and then transpiring the information to you. And if you trust that person, say, all right, I'm gonna do this deal. I'm gonna do this situation.
But you know what that goes back to? The managers are not informed. they don't know what they doing. Because when you was coming through, you already knew what you had to do. Your manager is your most central person. He deals
liaison
with
between everybody.
He's the lawyer, the record label, street niggas, your chicks. He is the beat nigga, the producers. Bro. He is your middle.
You know what? Manager way more important than the lawyer.
There you go. The manager is the middle. He is the most. Bro. He is the most undersold, underpaid being in the business is the manager.
Management is the most thankless job there is. Because you could get a nigga to the moon and then they're going to say, you know what, bro? I think we're going to go a different direction. You know what I mean? Like, this ain't, but the lawyer is still going to be there.
You can't get me the big Foot Locker deal and homeboy can.
But the thing about it is like, man, all of that shit, all of them deals, all that shit is all predicated on what you do, like
success.
You can't get a now, I ain't gonna front. Now, shit is a little bit wacky, how the young kids would say. You feel me? Like, shit is a little bit like all over the place as they give out tons of shit for people who don't earn it. You know what I mean? Like, they give out, I love Ja Morant, but I shouldn't see a top 10 missed dunk highlight from this nigga. You shouldn't be showing me his top 10 missed dunks. You feel me? Like, I feel like you show me when a motherfucker get over that line. You feel me? Like, we reward. I seen Dr. Phil say this shit. Dr. Phil was on Joe Rogan, and he said, yo, we in a place now where we reward and pay people for absolutely nothing. So everybody's not going to have a OnlyFans. And this don't just go, I'm not saying this for women. Because you know people say OnlyFans, you talking about women. No, I'm talking about men too. If you on whatever platform and you pushing your content, this, that, and the third, might lose your leg next week, baby. Now you can't do the same shit you was doing. Now you got to figure out a way into the workforce. Now you figuring out your way into the workforce, and all you could talk about is what you're not going to do. The biggest problem I have with young people today is everything they not going to do.
That's when I had a back and forth, I think, a few episodes, where we was like, what would be a dollar amount to make you comfortable to where you're done with this and you don't got it? Because, you know, Kanye had lost the money. He's like, if Kanye had chilled, right?
Yeah.
And then recently, we've been seeing Bank of America, people was losing bread. Usain Bolt, bread gone. 12 million, just
anybody
gone.
can get it.
And think about this. You can't even pull 100,000 out the bank now. Think about that. Like how hard it is just to pull your own money out.
I know, but I feel like, I also feel like pulling money out the bank is such a childish thing. Like, I'm
just saying that even the process to pull out 100K.
The process to do it? That's because the bank makes money off your money being in the bank.
I understand.
Right.
So when we going back and forth, I'm just like, yo, if my man Wayno got 20 million chilling, and it's hard for him and Esso to pull out 100K a piece, and then they can zap you like that. When I seen when Bank of America was trending, all these banks was trending, and people lost $2,000 here, $5,000 here, I got nervous because I'm like, when are we gonna be comfortable if they can zap our millions?
My dad used to always tell me it's never enough, bro. It's never enough. But I think that like it depends on the conversation we having because I kind of feel like there's a certain amount of money to make me leave rap alone.
Me too. I think I got the same number.
Me too.
There's a certain amount of money that can make me leave rap alone. But I'm also, this is also a person speaking from like having tons of experiences and knowledge that I didn't have years ago. Because like when I say leave rap alone, I don't mean that I would be fully detached, that I do absolutely nothing. It just would change like my
dynamic on how I'm going to approach the business.
Oh no, bro, like I sell music for a living. Like, you know what I mean? I sell music and music commentary. You need it, I'm your guy. You feel me? So it's like, this is what I do. This is my livelihood. But at the same time, it's like, this is also, I said earlier, like this is something that I've done for free. Saying like this is something I've done for no bread. So, passion it'll push you to your limits, but it'll also make you do a lot of dumb shit too. So, I mean,
you in it, but you're not in it. What does quality control you think mean to Atlanta?
Man, to me, and I said this when I was on Everyday Struggle, I feel like it's iconic. I feel like I compared it to I said South Rockefeller. You know what I mean? I only gave that reference because I was at Rockefeller. You know what I mean? But I think it's like, it might be the most important label to come out the South. You know what I'm saying? Reason why I say that.
You think more than LaFace?
I'm gonna say just as important. Sure. Because the only reason why I'm saying that is because we in the right now of everything that's happening. And LaFace, you know, it was a point in time where they was having a run and doing everything that they was doing. I'm not gonna say that it's more important than one to the next, because I don't know what it is to grow up in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? I didn't grow up here. I live here, but I don't even technically live in Atlanta by Omeretta standards. You know what I'm saying? But I do think that like the reason why why quality control is so important, and this is one of the reasons why I wanted to be here, is because you could look at the example of Coach, and you could look at the example of P, and you can literally see like P was a guy from the street. You know what I'm saying? Like he been through some of the worst of the worst. You know what I'm saying? And he was able to climb up out of that shit. And when he climbed out of it, he still didn't have it together. And then you see a guy like Coach who, you know, he was managing Jeezy, Gucci, you know what I mean? Worked with tons of different artists. And Coach is from Indiana, but he's a staple here as well. And I think you could look at those two guys, and then not only it being that, but them hiring, you know, Simone and Tamika. Our company is run by women. A lot of people don't know that, man. Like, you know what I mean? Twin, you know what I mean? I got to shout out Twin. You know, he manages Little Baby. He's the president of QC Sports, and you know, one of the members that was here when everything started. You got to look at what they did with their time and think about the Migos, bro. You know what I mean? When it's crazy. You never know what you got till it's gone. But Takeoff Pass was not a hit to Atlanta. That shit was a hit to hip hop. Period. That shit was a hit to niggas in the West Coast, East Coast. I used to be pulling up on niggas playing No Label 2, and they be like, "You playing that down south shit? You damn right." I was playing Ludacris too.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I was playing Scarface too when I was a youngin'. So I feel like what they've done and what they've built, I wake up, bro, I don't even believe my life sometimes, bro.
Yeah.
I don't even believe my life. I worked with Jay-Z for real. I had an artist that was signed to Nas. I worked with Nas, and I work with Quality Control now, and I worked at Asylum, bro. This shit is a fairy tale for real, but QC means everything.
Talk about the business of media as we wrap this up.
Oh man, the business of media.
Yeah.
What part?
How'd I
get into it?
Talk about the transition. You know what I'm saying?
So look, bro, the transition. I had no idea. This shit was not on my vision board. It was not something that I sought out. Nothing. I literally saw a star. I was watching Everyday Struggle every day when Button was on it, and I was seeing Star. You know, when Star came and replaced Joe Button, and I grew up on Star.
So
one thing about Star is he always say, "Man, Wayno was a good guy. I never had no problems with him. Like that was my guy. Like I grew up on Star." But I just hitting the desk up one day on some what's up shit because we got a good relationship, and she was like, "Yo, you should come to." She had hit me like 2 weeks later, and she was like, "Yo, I've just been such a bad friend. I've been busy, but come debate with us one day." I went. And that very first day I did that shit, I don't even remember that episode. Like I don't remember what we talked about, nothing. I just remember that day when I was walking out, Chops was like, "Yo, that's the most fun we had since Joe left." And I didn't know what that meant. And then Nadeska had asked, like, you know, she had hit me later and was like, "Would you come back?" And I'm like, why would I come? Like, I didn't understand, like, come back for what? And she's like, "Yo, you know, we working on bringing other people on. You know, we got Star in here, but we all working on, like, different options. Would you be open to coming back?" And I'm like, "Y'all want me to come talk?" I'm like, "Yeah, come back." End up staying on that show for 3 years, bro. I was on the show longer than Joe Button was. Now, the thing about, like, the transition was, it was crazy because I was terrified. I ain't gonna lie. Reason why I was terrified is because, you know, now my opinions is becoming public.
Yeah.
And now I can't just speak how I used to on Twitter. When I got on there, they erased a bunch of my tweets. It's crazy shit I was saying, but I was 26 when I got on Twitter. You know what I mean? I got on there, and then I had to hear everything I wasn't. I had to hear no Joe, no show, and I ain't Joe Button. Bro, I started wearing, like, I like trench coats too. I wore a trench coat. Niggas like, "You on Joe Button dick." Like, I'm like, damn, I can't. Like, so everything I did was compared to Joe. And, you know, I learned a lot, man. I interviewed a lot of people, and that shit led me to doing stuff with Amazon. But before I got on the show, I asked a few of my close homies. My man, Steve Carlos, I pulled them on. I'm like, "Yo, Steve-O, you think I should do this?" And he like, "They gonna pay you?" I'm like, "Yeah." He like, "Hell yeah, nigga, you good at commentary." Like, you.
And, you know, when you got up there, you know, people that was doing the media shit, they all felt the way.
Oh, yeah, they
did. And people came to me like, "You not mad?" I said, "Bro, a black man getting..."
Bro, oppression, bro. That's the op, bro. You know how many niggas, bro? I'm talking about.
Yo.
See, nobody know.
Yo, bro, you know,
of
you
course it's
already know I
happening
know.
to you. Bro, but now I'm gonna keep it 100, bro. Ain't nobody think about mental health. Nobody thought about how they was like, who the fuck is this bum ass? Like, yo, bro, I'm talking about. I had people saying, I ain't even gonna mention none of these niggas because they don't matter. But it's people that everybody know, and they was tweeting me like, who is this nigga? He ain't never put that work. Like they was acting like we was in the street, and I just got 5-star general. Like,
they act like we in the street.
Think about it.
Yeah, this shit is not the streets.
It's
people didn't know I did
me.
interviews. They were like, yo, I just found out you did all these interviews. And I've always said, when it comes to digital appearance and on the internet, unless you're hitting home runs every year, you got to reintroduce yourself to the internet every 18 months to 36 months.
That's a fact. Well, see, I wasn't the nigga. I don't do no viral shit because end of the day, bro, I got like, well, I ain't gonna say viral because I'm just not a silly nigga, bro. Like, I'm not gonna be jumping on the table, yelling at you. Or like,
never.
And a person who really helped me was academics. A lot of people might not like him. A lot of people might not agree with him. But what I learned from academics is performance. A lot of shit that academics does, while everybody taking it like, why he talking about street business, bro? All y'all niggas that, let me look at the camera while I say this. All y'all niggas that's beefing with your ops, that's cursing your baby mothers out, that's doing dumb shit. Whatever you doing, you're giving a nigga a content. Like, you doing shit publicly and telling a nigga don't say nothing about it. Like, you know what I mean? And I don't agree with. I'm gonna keep it 100, bro. I haven't spoken to Ack in a long time, but we have a good relationship.
Nah, y'all always had.
But the thing about it is he's performing. When he get up there drunk and belligerent and talking crazy, that's him no different than when we was kids and watching Hulk Hogan and these niggas, NWO and Ultimate Warrior go up there talk crazy. And we like, oh, he really about to kill this nigga. No, it's performance.
Selling the movie.
Bro, I watch Act turn that shit on and turn it off.
It's called entertainment business.
That's a fact. So I learned that from him, and then he would teach me things about myself. Like, yo, Wayno, he like, yo, you got the opinion of niggas who was like in the street but got out and got a family now, and that's kind of how my life was. It was like, now you got a fan, and you speaking for niggas who like, you know what I mean, that want to have like a grown up space, and I've been able to have a career for this shit for 5 years now. So for all y'all that was on my dick talking about I was one and done and no Joe, no show, I don't know how y'all bank account looking, but mine's lit. Like, you know what I mean? So salute to y'all.
How I look at this at this media thing is, I look at it in two folds, and so it's the last thing I'm gonna say. You know how you this is like when commentators, because you're a sports person.
Oh man,
this is like when a commentator goes on television and gets hired to be a coach. You know what I'm saying? You know why? Because now you get to hear their knowledge. That's why you can't get Tony Romo. He's worth too much. His knowledge of calling plays out right on TV is worth $7 to $9 million for them on TV.
Oh, yeah.
So if you want Romo to coach, you got to pay him $20 million.
See, Tom Brady got a $175 million deal just waiting for him.
To talk on air. Yes.
After waiting for him.
After he's retired, it's waiting for him. But my point here is, this gives us a chance. People knew I've been in the business for 20 years and knew I did all this other stuff, but they somehow thought I did it and wasn't smart. And I wasn't strategic. And I didn't plan it. And I didn't use relationships.
Right.
So when you're on this microphone and you got this camera, now people know what you really know. So when people are watching and coming, even when people come to me about certain little jobs and stuff, I say, yo, if I'm going to do a job, it's either going to be easy, give me digital marketing, right? Or you're going to give me control. And you know I know how to make it, from making the record, getting it to radio, exposing, marketing the record. I got relationships around the country. That's worth millions of dollars. Niggas got niggas in labels that can't do none of these things. And I can do all these things. And this is what this microphone and exposure can do for you. Give people the knowledge and see that you can do things without even having to force feed it upon.
This is the new rap game. Remember how people would see all the money coming in when Jay came in and that whole, Rockefeller, late 90s, early 2000s, this media podcast game, which requires less.
But niggas ain't making no money
I will say one thing. I will say one thing about all of this too, because this is one thing that eats me up when it comes to, what it is that we do. there's it's almost no integrity and almost nothing now. But I seen this one, and I'm not knocking. People could do whatever the fuck they want. But I seen Stephen A. Smith on a podcast.
man.
No, I'm gonna keep it 100, bro.
Yeah.
Stephen A. Smith is a nigga I done grew up watching. I'm a grown ass man, and I'm still watching this brother to this day. He's, got an extensive, whatever you think about him, whatever, but he's really, really good at what he does.
Of course.
And to see Stephen A. Smith be on a platform and talking to people and them ask him, do he like to get his ass ate, was one of the most ridiculous things I've ever seen ever in life. Because I'm like, for all the things that you could say to this man, bro.
This is what
you, like, you felt comfortable saying that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's where we at with this shit. It's no holds barred, anything goes. And that's the only thing that I don't like about the media shit.
And that's why I apologize for the clickbait earlier.
You did it, Adam 22 did it to me too. That's my dog, but he did some little funny shit. That's my dog. I love Adam.
And the sad reality is, the more views that come in, it equates to more dollars.
Yeah, I feel that. I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna get dollars regardless. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's why I don't do that.
So Wayno, this was BagFuel.
It's BagFuel.
We could have went 10 more hours.
Yeah, man. We gotta do a part two, bro.
We didn't have it. We didn't have enough time because what y'all don't know is it's a lot of things that moved around. We had to move around Greg Street. We got Shaheen coming in. So the fact that he made time before he went to New York to come and sit with us for 60 whole minutes to put this down. I really appreciate it, my dude.
What you want to leave the people with as we close it out?
I want to leave with people with this, man. See value in yourself, see value in others, man, and just take your time, man. Like it's gonna happen.
Boom.
BagFuel.
Harlem.
Like, subscribe.
Harlem, Bronx.
Subscribe, follow, super thanks.
Hit the super
follow
thanks.
Us, follow the whole team. Yo, BagFuel, we out.